Welcome to DAK'S Fan Zone and End Zone. I'm your host, Dak. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys had a good Super Bowl weekend. The Seattle Seahawks are your Super Bowl 60 champs. But let's kick it off. We have a fun, exciting offseason. The Raiders have just hired Clint Kubiak to be their new head coach. There's going to be plenty of storylines and plenty of player movement as we head into this offseason. I anticipate. I would say this is the most fun times of the year for me personally. I like to talk about the draft. I like to talk about player acquisitions. So I got a special episode for you. I'm going to be running through my first of 4 NFL mock drafts for all 32 teams. I want the feedback. I want the pushback. I want there's no way that player goes there at pick 17. I think he's a reach. I want that feedback. I think it would make for some good discourse, for you guys. So I want to create good content. So this for this mock draft, it's a pre-free agency mock, right? A lot of the needs that we see on this board could be filled, right? And some teams operate that way for the most part. So it's going to be interesting to see how much it changes. I'm not really shooting for 100% accuracy, right? Like I don't even think the professionals are ever 100% accurate, right? This is just kind of like it kind of draws a picture of where players are going to go, right? Different pathways a team can go. So I'm excited. So if you're a fan of any team in the league, please give me some feedback. I'm all ears. But let's get into it. Let's get into the first NFL mock draft. I'm going to be specifically running through this on PFF. Okay. So the first selection I have right off the bat, as you can see here, I had it filled in because, of course, it's a no-brainer. Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy Award winner, your national champion with the Indiana Hoosiers, will be selected at number 1 overall. I think it's a no-brainer. You just brought in Clint Kubiak, as I mentioned, to be your head coach. 5-year deal in a quarterback-driven league. You need somebody who can develop a quarterback, right? I think Kubiak will be just that, but I also feel like Fernando Mendoza is set up rather nicely in terms of some of the offensive pieces that he already has around him. You need to really upgrade that offensive line, if I'm being honest. But you have guys like Brock Bowers, Ashton Jeanty, right? Like those are some major staples of that offense that could really help a player like Fernando Mendoza come along. Of course, they're going to add some players through free agency. But what I do like about Fernando Mendoza is he's a calm processor. He's a rhythm passer, but he has sneaky mobility, right? You see him how he can utilize his legs to extend plays, right? And I think the Raiders need stability and command, not chaos. And Mendoza gives them just that. He can operate through structure. So give me Fernando Mendoza to help this terrible Raiders offense kind of steer the ship in the right direction for this team. Now, number 2. This one's a tough one. Aaron Glenn, it remained the head coach. I don't know how you Jets fans feel about that. I felt like they should have moved off from him after even just one season. He gets another opportunity to kind of revamp this defense. In my opinion, they need defense, right? They got rid of players like a Quinnen Williams via trade to Dallas. So you need some true edge rushing talent there. So I feel like they can go edge at this particular position. And I think the consensus for this pick is Arvell Reese out of Ohio State. Phenomenal player, sideline to sideline speed, violent downhill trigger. I think he's a perfect fit for this defense that asks backers to run and hit, right? Like I think Aaron Glenn needs somebody of that caliber. He adds juice. So I think this will be a big addition to a New York Jets defense who struggled, right? So give me Arvel Reese with the number 2 overall pick. Now, onward we go. And here we are looking at it. The Arizona Cardinals. What are they going to do? The big question mark with Kyler Murray. Do they go quarterback if they ship him out to another team? Well, I would say this. I think that line needs to be a little better in terms of protecting the quarterback. And I feel like number 3 would be too high for maybe somebody like a Ty Simpson, right? But I guess it's all depends on the evaluation for that team's like how they evaluate the quarterback. So I would think it'd be a little of a reach right here, but I say, hey, give me offensive line help to help that quarterback. You get your guy in Spencer Fano, a tackle, functional, power, balance, NFL ready frame. They need to build the trench wall pretty quickly, right, to protect whoever they bring in if it's not Kyler Murray. You have an offensive minded coach in Mike LaFleur as the new head coach there. So this would stabilize that O line they desperately need. So give me Spencer Fano. I like him. I really do. So we're on to the number 4 pick. Okay. And this is one where like I want them to go in a number of ways. Could they go wide receiver here with the selection? Could they go, can they add something to the offensive line? You'd really need to. Year 2 is really about helping out Cam Ward, right? But you know what else helps Cameron Ward is a good defense. They need edge help. They need somebody who can create turnovers. They have a defensive minded coach in Robert Saleh, who I feel will thrive in Tennessee after bringing in Brian Daboll to be his partner in crime, right? I feel like they do go with the edge at this particular position. You need somebody who has a relentless motor and has some burst and bend. Give me David Bailey, number 4 overall, to add some pass rush presence to that defense. Boom. I love it. How do you guys feel? We got 4 picks down. Onward we go to the New York Giants. I'm looking around. They can use another wide receiver to help Jackson Dart out. Do they go Jeremiah Love? Do they see him as a true fit to help be more efficient in the run game, to help their young quarterback out? A run game is a quarterback's best friend, as we just saw with the Super Bowl with Seattle, with Kenneth Walker, right? But I feel like this team goes in another direction. And I feel like they're going to go offensive lineman. This player has elite length, anchor strength. He has that mauler mentality. So I'm gonna go offensive line here because they really need help in that on that side of the ball in the trenches. Give me Francis Mauigoa with the 5th overall pick. I think I like that one. I really do. Um, so you need, like I said, you need to help Jackson Dart out. You do that with a mauler like Francis Mauigoa. Number 6 overall. I'm looking at the Browns. Okay, could they go quarterback? Do they feel some type of way with a Ty Simpson? I feel like Shador Sanders needs at least 1 year to give him the keys to this offense to really help him develop, and he can surprise many. I've said that I believe he can be the answer to the quarterback woes there in Cleveland. You got Todd Monken, who I think is going to help Shador thrive with his run game as well. Where do we go with this? You have a Jerry Jeudy in the wide receiver room, but I feel like you need to add somebody else, right? You need somebody who can be a playmaker. So you need a true wide receiver 1. I'm thinking wide receiver at this particular selection. Tell me how you guys feel in the comments after this selection. But I'm going with Jordan Tyson. I like it. I really do. Onward we go with the Washington Commanders. They're on the clock at number 7. Their defense really struggled. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, what could they use? They could use tight end. They can really use some offensive line help. Maybe they fill that in free agency. Maybe they prioritize some of those needs. But I feel like this team could really go with linebacker. Okay. Um, I'm excited about this one. I feel like I want to say Daniel Jeremiah went with Sonny Styles, and I could see why. He's a selection here. I'm gonna pull him up real quick. I'm gonna add him to the. I'm gonna select him with the number 7 overall pick, and here we go. Sonny Styles. Man, this guy just flies all over the field. It really stuck out to me when Daniel Jeremiah said this man reminds him of a Fred Warner. Adam Peters, who was the general manager, well, not the general manager, but underneath general manager John Lynch, helped draft Fred Warner in San Francisco. Now he gets to draft his own Fred Warner in Washington with the 7th overall pick in Sonny Styles. I love this. He's a hybrid defender with instincts and coverage upside. He can stay on the field for all 3 downs. Let the Commanders get a chess piece on the defensive side, a quarterback on that side of the ball, rather. Give me Sonny Styles. I like it a lot. I'm freaking intrigued. How about you, Commanders fans? Let me know in the comments. How do you guys feel? Now we're onward we go. Number 8 overall selection. And this one's like, I really struggle with this one, but I can't help but overlook this player, the talent he is. He's sitting there on the board. You have some guys that are getting long in the tooth in Alvin Kamara. You need a true running back, an elite running back. You get that with Jeremiah Love at number 8 overall. Tyler Shug with Jeremiah Love. Yes, I love it. Give it to me. This guy, he's a true talent. He has vision, patience. He's explosive. He's a seamless fit for New Orleans and zone concepts. Love keeps the offense efficient and explosive without not having to work the quarterback. Tyler Shug had a good season. He didn't play the whole season, but in the number of starts that he had, he showed some promise. You help your quarterback out with an elite running back. So give me Jeremiah Love. I like it. Notre Dame had the 2 horsemen there, I think, right? Like in Notre Dame. So Jadarian Price being the other running back. 2 explosive running backs. Boy, were they lucky. Here we go. Kansas City Chiefs. I know I'm a Broncos fan, but I'm still going to bless them with the selection. I like this a lot. I feel like they need some help on the edge. They need some power rush, some leverage, some interior edge versatility. Give me Ruben Bain Jr. with the number 9 overall selection. I'm intrigued. Man, I don't know about y'all Chiefs fans, but you need a true edge rusher, right? And he's another chess piece up front. He wins with strength and complements their speed rushers perfectly. So I love this pick, honestly. I liked him a lot in Miami. Onward we go. Number 10 overall. Woo! The Bengals need so much help on the defensive side of the ball. Let's call it what it is. Man, talk about a weakness. But you can add talent to that side. And there's weapons on defense. I say this all the time. You lost a lot of talent when you sent Jesse Bates went out the door, right? Give me Caleb Downs. It looks like he'll stay in Ohio with the Cincinnati Bengals. They need some secondary help. This guy, you can line him up all over the field, right? You can put him in the box. You can put him in the nickel. You could do so many things, right? This guy has range, ball skills. He brings reliability in the back end. I think I've seen him be ranked as high as the number 2 overall prospect. He helps erase mistakes, and he proves the Bengals' ability to close games defensively. So many times did we see the Bengals blow some leads last season as well. So give me Caleb Downs at number 10 overall. I really like that. I thought about it too for Miami because I know they need some secondary help. Could they go wide receiver? Could they go quarterback? I don't know. Tua Tagovailoa is a big question mark. Do they cut him? Do they stick with him another season? Because that dead cap hit is very pricey. It's $99 million, I want to say. But the Dolphins need to figure out something with the quarterback position this season. But for now, I think they really need to focus on their secondary. So give me, with number 11 at this particular selection, I'm going to pull it up. Give me Jermod McCoy. I like this. He gives the Miami Dolphins the ability to stay fast and aggressive. He thrives in man coverage and fits the Dolphins' press and run philosophy. Well, they do have Halfley there, so it'll be interesting. Either way, they needed secondary help in the worst way. Give me Jermod McCoy. I like it a lot. He's a dog. They need that kind of personality on that side of the ball. So, number 12. Oof. The Cowboys are another team. They really need defense. They need a running back. But they need so much defensive help at this particular position. You saw how trash the corners were. They got rid of Diggs, cut him, right? So they definitely need secondary help. This particular corner has physicality, ball production, great instincts. You can't help but not add this guy to the secondary and expect an immediate impact day one. Give me Mansour Delane out of LSU. He helped that secondary tremendously with a player like him. So I like that selection. Hopefully the Cowboys fans will like this selection. Onward we go to lucky number 13. And this one I really fidgeted with. Man, we can make a lot of moves in this particular area. And I'm looking at the wide receiver room. But Dak, they got Devontae Adams and they got Puka Nacua. I understand that. But sometimes getting a young playmaker like a Makai Lemon is just perfect, right? With this one, you can make lemonade out of lemons. Makai Lemon is that guy. Give me him. Number 13 overall. This guy is a gamer. You can line him up in the slot. You can line him outside. You can do a number of things. You can put him in motion. You can do jet sweeps. You build passing games around Makai Lemon. I feel like a Sean McVay marriage with Makai Lemon is intriguing as can be. I almost said a bad word. Excuse me. He's my wide receiver one in this particular draft. And I'm curious who your guys' wide receiver one is. Let me know in the comments. But give me Makai Lemon. This guy has yak ability, spatial awareness. He's elusive. Man, he's just a mismatch on the field. And he will keep defenses up at night. So I like that selection a lot. I really do. I'm intrigued. This one, I really went back and forth between it's all about helping out Lamar Jackson, right? I know he's dealt with some injuries now. MVP type of quarterback, but you really need help. You can't be Superman. Do you help him with the wide receiver? But I think you need to keep your investment well protected, and you do that with the addition of a interior offensive lineman who I really like in this draft, and Vega Ione. He has a big name. You know who he is. And if you don't, check him out. This guy is a beast. Power, hand placement. He brings a nastiness. A Ravens classic interior run game guy who will definitely help Lamar stay clean inside the pocket. And you have their center who's out the door, drawing a blank right now. But you need to add to that offensive line regardless. So give me Ole Vega Ayon at number 14. I like that selection. One of my favorites actually for Baltimore. Um, if you Ravens fans, if you like that pick, let me know. Do you think I should have gone wide receiver maybe, and maybe drafted a Cardinal Tate or somebody? Let me know. They could have gone defensive line as well, but that's where I'm going right now, protecting our investment in Lamar Jackson. Number 15. Here we are. I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, they really need tight end. Kate Otten is pretty much out the door, I would imagine. He's a free agent from what I've seen. Do they replace him with a Kenyon Sadiq at this particular position? I feel like they wait in this draft to get a tight end. Maybe they address it in free agency. Njoku decided that he's not going back to Cleveland. He just posted it on Twitter. So I would say that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can really use some edge help. Tampa reloads the pass rush. Give me Cassius Howell. He adds pressure, and he's a situational disruptor. He has a first quick step. I love this one for you guys. I really like Cassius Howell a lot. Texas A&M, there's something about, I mean, we can talk about quarterback universities, QBU, like across the league for like certain colleges, right? To go to that point, Cassius Howell, Texas A&M particularly, they know how to develop them some pass rushers. Von Miller, Myles Garrett, and then they had a bevy of talent coming out last season into the draft. Now add Cassius Howell to that list. I love it. I like it a lot. I hope you guys would like this selection as well. Here we go at number 16. Boy, I really struggled with this one, honestly. Okay. And this is kind of my thinking, right? The Jets, they need a quarterback. They had 2 firsts in this particular draft. Arval Reese at number 2. Do they go Ty Simpson overall right here at 16? Is that bit of a reach? No. Do they trade a pick to get maybe a Kyler Murray? I think they end up getting a veteran in some fashion. But who? I don't know. Maybe it is Kyler Murray after all. I don't know what the price would be right now where Kyler Murray sits. Did his trade value kind of deplete a little bit? I don't know. It's not. I can't really say for sure, but I would say this: keep an eye on this defense because they just sent out Quinnen Williams. They need help in the worst way, like I've said, on defense. And I really like this prospect. To me, he is a blue chip prospect. A top 10 talent, in my opinion. Give me Peter Woods. I'm freaking intrigued because you just went ahead and replaced Quinnen Williams with a cheaper contract in Peter Woods. And you went ahead and added Arval Reese to this defense. Yeah, I like that. This defense immediately with just these 2 selections completely improves and upgrades that front 7. You get a guy who's explosive on the interior. He brings versatility. He's dominant, man. He's relentless. I love it. Give me Peter Woods out of Clemson. Yeah, I'm excited about that one. I'm excited. So here we are. I'm down. Sorry about that. I'm scrolling down. Jets. I mean, do you feel like Ty Simpson would be the selection here? I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel. It's very hard to tell right now this early, but this is why I'm doing that. I'm doing this mock draft. Number 17. They have Decker on the way out. Taylor Decker. They need some offensive line help. And a guy that I really like in this draft out of Alabama, Caden Proctor, length, pass pro ceiling. He allows Detroit to keep stacking the trenches. Proctor fits their long-term bully ball identity. I love it. I love it a lot. Give me Proctor at 17. I think he'd be a good fit there in Detroit. So here we are, number 18. And here's the thought. Like I've seen Emmanuel McNeil Warren be mocked quite a bit to Minnesota. I feel like that might be a little bit of a reach. Um, he has a high ceiling, right? It's kind of like a boomer bust type of thing. I feel with him. He could be a stud though. He could be a replacement potentially for Harrison Smith. But I really feel like this team will benefit by adding a corner in their room. And a guy that I really like, particularly, I think he fits well. He has speed, competitiveness, and recovery ability. Give me Avayon Terrell out of Clemson at number 18. You feel that defensive back need immediately. I like it. He's a stud. Here's another one, number 19. I've gone back and forth, right? The Panthers, I feel like, can really use another a Robin to their Batman in T-Mac, who just won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Shout out to him. Bryce Young has taken a leap. The Panthers are headed in the right direction now. But what I would say is they need some help on defense also to help them really get to that next level. And I feel like they need to build this defensive line and firm up that run defense. And this guy also collapses pockets. He has some power in him. I've seen him, I think, get ranked mocked maybe top 10 at one point. Don't quote me on that. I know I'm very high on this prospect. And I think Carolina should as well. I'm drafting Caleb Banks to add to the trenches for Carolina. I like it. How about you guys? How about you, Carolina fans? Should I have went wide receiver at that position? I was really, I was like on the fence about that selection. Could have gone either or. Teeter tottering. I go with defense. Defense wins championships. You just saw in Super Bowl 60. Here we go. Number 20 on the clock is the Dallas Cowboys. They just franchise tagged George Pickens. Are they going to give him the bag? Are they going to trade and get another pick? I don't know. It's going to be interesting how that situation works out. I know Jerry Jones likes to play hardball and ultimately likes to extend his guys eventually. But they still need so much help on the defensive side of the ball. They need a true edge rusher. A guy that I really like is Keldrick Falk out of Auburn. He has some length to him for sure. He's explosive. Give me Keldrick Falk, number 20. So Dallas has already improved their defense, I would say, with the addition of an edge rusher and some secondary help with their first two first-round picks, man. I don't know how you guys feel, Dallas fans, but I'd be pretty happy with those two investments in the first round. Here we go. Number 21. I've done some thinking. They really need some offensive weapons. They just traded for DK Metcalf. But let's have a partner in crime pair up with him as well, right? This guy wins contested catches, and I would say fits their identity. Physical. He can run routes, strong hands. He has some juice to him. I like him a lot with Ohio State. Ohio State is a wide receiver university where they're just developing freaks at the wide receiver position, man. It must be nice, but give me Carnell Tate at number 21. This is great value. I think this player can actually go anywhere in the top 10, if I'm being honest. You can make a case for him maybe getting drafted by New Orleans. Maybe he was the one that got drafted to the Browns instead of Jordan Tyson, right? But this would be great value. If I'm the Steelers fans, I am intrigued by that particular selection. Number 22, the Los Angeles Chargers. Before I get into this selection, I'll just say this draft, I'm particularly not doing any kind of trades. I'm just going based off where they are in the standings, where they're listed at for now. In this mock, I think when I get closer to the draft, I think I might do the last one with some trade ups, and then I would be curious to see what you guys think. But for now, we're keeping all our picks right now. We're keeping it as is. Number 22, Justin Herbert. Can't get over the hill, but he can't get off his back because the amount of pressure that he has. He was sacked so many times last season. Poor guy. You need somebody who can be a pass pro anchor that has some intelligence, who is a mauler in the run game. I feel like this man is being slept on a little bit. I feel like he could go in the first round, projected second round right now currently. Emmanuel Pregnon, guard out of Oregon. You need to really bolster that interior offensive line. I really feel like Jim Harbaugh will do such to help his quarterback out. And now you just have Mike McDaniels, who I think will be intrigued as well, help his quarterback out with the selection. I feel like he will have a lot of say as to how this offense is rounded out in free agency and in the draft. You can't get much better than adding Emmanuel Pregnon. You add Joel, Rashawn Slater on the outside. Give me Emmanuel Pregnon inside. I love it. This Chargers offense in the trenches, if they can be healthy, will be a problem on the offensive line. Love the talent that they've invested in that particular side of the ball. Here we go. This one is the Philadelphia Eagles. I've heard that they can go cornerback with this one. You already have Dejan, Cooper, Dejan, however you want to pronounce it. And then you got Quinion Mitchell. Man, they got studs at corner. Lucky them. And the rich get richer. Are they going to go corner here? Nah. I think with Dallas Goedert being out the door, they really need a tight end to really help this offense. This man, I feel, is in the top 20, hands down. He is my number one tight end in this draft class. He can use some refining in terms of his run blocking, but he has all the intangibles to do that. He is a matchup nightmare for defenses, honestly. This man has, I call him Sadiq, the athletic freak. You can just line him up wherever, in the slot, on the outside. He can be the Eagles' Joker with some development. He's just another weapon who stresses linebackers and safeties. Just wreaking havoc in the middle of the field for defenses. Man, he's like a wide receiver in a tight end's body. I love it. Like I said, I think he can get more consistent with his run blocking and blocking all the way around. And that's the thing. None of these players are coming into the draft as a finished product. With the right coaching, they could really be something. I've heard people kind of say like, oh, well, tight end isn't really the way to go because the hit rate on a tight end position. But sometimes, and I think with the Eagles, they'll cover up all their needs, but they have that flexibility to take a risk on a player like Kenyon Sadiq. I don't feel like it's a risk at all. I think he's plug and play week one. He can make an impact right away. You get your long-term tight end replacement in Kenyon Sadiq replacing Dallas Goedert. I'm intrigued. Give me Kenyon Sadiq. I'm an Oregon Ducks fan. I got to see this, man. He's very athletic. I like what he can bring to the Eagles offense. Pairing him up with Saquon Barkley, and depending on what happens, like with an A.J. Brown or, that whole scenario. I mean, maybe it's speculation that A.J. Brown gets traded. But then Devontae Smith's there. Like, you have an arsenal of weapons on offense to really help a struggling offense who really struggled this season. So, shout out to the Eagles. If they want to contend, they need to bolster this offense. You do that with the selection of Kenyon Sadiq. Now, I really contemplated. I've seen this man go as high as, I think, number 5 to the Browns' original pick. 6. I feel like he's a good fit for this particular selection. Like I've said, protect your investment. You do that with some offensive line help who the Browns desperately need. Um, I seen this guy get drafted at 6, but I think he could go. If you get him at 24, this is solid value. You get him. Caleb Lamo out of Utah. Love it. Love it. I love it. I love it. Um, he has some length to him. He has some developmental upside, but you need to invest in protection depth and future starters. You need to invest in the offensive line. Caleb Lamo just does just that. I like this selection a lot. At number 24, you get your top tier wide receiver with your 6th overall pick and a Jordan Tyson who could be wide receiver 1 for a lot of people, right? Injuries may be a concern, but hey, you get him and you're able to get a tackle at number 24. That's how you build around your quarterback to help him. Todd Monken, the general manager there as well, will be doing phenomenal things to help out Shedeur Sanders. So here we are, number 25. I'm looking at it. The Bears are on the clock. Oof, this is another difficult one. Do they even have this selection? Because I heard Max Crosby is a man that could be on the move. Are the Bears intrigued? Do they repeat history? They traded for Khalil Mack a while back when he hit the market, when he hit the trade block. Do the Bears trade this pick to get a Max Crosby? I don't know. This is part of it to see what happens in the offseason. But for now, we're going to say they don't get Max Crosby. They get Caden McDonald, who brings a motor. You like to rev that engine on the defensive line. You get the versatility. He's a tone setter. He fits the Chicago's defensive build. Give me Caden McDonald out of Ohio State, who I'm fairly high on in terms of the defensive line talent prospects out of this class. I like that one. Chicago needs to invest in the trenches, rightfully so. You get a stud in Caden McDonald. Number 26. This is another one where I'm like, do we go wide receiver for the Bills? I really struggled with this one, but I feel like maybe the Bills address wide receiver either via free agency. Maybe they get Alec Pierce type of wide receiver. Or do they trade for a George Pickens? Do they trade this first round? Because I know just because the Cowboys have tagged George Pickens doesn't mean they can extend him, right? Like, will they field trade calls for Pickens to get more draft capital to round out their roster? It'll be interesting because I know the Cowboys they're kind of strained with the cap right now. Of course, you can always maneuver things, but going back to the Bills, I really thought they needed to add a weapon here in wide receiver, but they really need defensive help as well. On the edge, Joey Bosa is a free agent. You replace him with Akeem Mesidor, whose speed rush has length, adds juice. This man is their long-term investment. Great value on the edge with this particular player. Give me Akeem Mesidor out of Miami. They were so lucky to have both Ruben Bain Jr. and Akeem Mesidor wreaking havoc on quarterbacks, man. Collapse in the pocket. Must be nice. So here we go. This one I really like. I think the Niners fans would truly appreciate this selection. They have the whole ordeal going on with Brandon Ayuk. Do they cut him? Do they trade him or whatever? Either way, they need to get that needs to get dealt with. They're gonna need wide receiver help. Man, and I'm intrigued with this particular wide receiver. One of my favorites, and Denzel Boston out of Washington. He brings a physicality. He brings blocking. He's reliable. Shanahan loves receivers who do the dirty work, and he fits the system culture. He has some speed to him, and like I mentioned, he has some size. Let's see. This man is. We're gonna take a peek at his 6'4", 209. Yeah, I like him a lot to potentially be the wide receiver one of the future. So I like that one a lot for San Francisco. Now here we are, number 28 overall. We're looking at the Houston Texans. Maybe they uh, tidy up some of these needs on that they have listed with the guard, with some defensive line. How do they get a center in free agency? Do they get a Brees Hall with the running back? I feel like they're left. They're kind of playing the musical chairs kind of thing, and they're left without a running back. So this is why, and I'm very excited when I see this player. This guy's jump cuts. He's elusive. He just has burst to him. His cutback ability is, like I've said, is just phenomenal. He can be effective in the passing game and of course the running game. Like he is a RB1 right off the bat. When I watch him, he really reminds me of LaShawn McCoy a little bit. Not comparing him like one for one, but he has his game kind of resembles him a little bit. So I think Jadarian Price at number 28 overall is a home run for that offense. Like I said, maybe you address the offensive line. Maybe you get another guy in the second round, but you get this running back in the first round, and it helps you right away because I know Joe Mixon, they might move off him or something. They have Woody Marks, but you need a true RB1. Jadarian Price is that guy. They need their Arian Foster to run the rock. I would like it. Arian Foster is one of my favorite running backs all time with Houston. So, yeah, give me Jadarian Price at 20 overall. Here we are, number 29. The LA Rams are on the clock. Do they go tackle here? Do they go corner? Do they go quarterback, right? Those are some needs, but I feel like they address corner in the free agency. Maybe they get a veteran tackle to kind of help that offensive line out. There has been talk, and I've talked about it too as well on previous episodes. The LA Rams are looking for a long-term development plan at the quarterback position. They need their heir apparent to Matthew Stafford, and here you go. What a better way to get your guy. I know they were interested. I think there were rumors that they were interested in Bo Nix. They were interested, I heard, in Jackson Dart. This is the time you get this man in the first round. Ty Simpson, you develop him for 1 year. You get that 5th-year option on him. Does Matthew Stafford decide to hang it up after maybe next season? I don't know. But you have your long-term quarterback in place to replace Matthew Stafford. I like this a lot. He's a little raw, I think. He has some athleticism, upside for sure. I think he's the perfect developmental quarterback behind a strong coaching staff in Sean McVay and Cliff Kingsbury, who is known to develop quarterbacks, who is their new OC. Like, man, what a home run. What an ideal situation for this young man to be in. Give me Ty Simpson. I like it a lot. Here we go. On to number. This one is like, I know I'm a Broncos fan. The talk of the town has been, do we go linebacker? Are we going to get a wide receiver? We can go a number of ways. If Kenyon Sadiq was here, I'd run that ticket up real quick and get him. But I feel like right now, and even Dane Brugler made the selection on his recent 3-round mock draft. I was pretty familiar with this guy, but the more I watch him at the wide receiver position, and I don't do helmet scouting just because maybe Jerry Jeudy got shipped off to another team, or he might be another Jerry Jeudy. Like, I don't helmet scout. I give every player the benefit of the doubt. Everybody's different, right? I look at situation, everything. But this man right here is going to be the perfect Sean Payton fit for this offense. Every time I watch him, man, I'm just intrigued by him. Jeremy Bernard, man. Sean Payton likes a guy who can run block. He does that. He's a willing blocker. His route running, I really like. He can create separation at the beginning of his stem. And then his speed window, I think he's going to be your 4-4, 4-4-8 kind of guy. Just enough speed to get open, right, and take a top off a defense. He's a true Z that would fit perfectly next to Cortland Sutton. Jeremy Bernard, could he be a second round selection? Maybe. But I feel like this guy is a sure thing in the first round. You get him on a rookie scale contract. You get that 5th-year option. You get to develop him with Bo Nix at the helm. They get their explosive wide receiver. I think day one, he'd make a sudden impact for that offense. And then maybe you look at tight end in the next round or what have you. But I was even thinking about linebacker, right? But I feel like it's pretty deep, this class. There's some talented guys maybe you could get in the second or third round as well, like a Josiah Trotter. Maybe you get a guy like Bryce Betcher in the third round. But, man, I cannot pass up Jeremy Bernard for the Broncos. I love this selection a lot. And if this was the selection come draft night, I'd be thrilled. I know he's probably ranked, I think, like in the 40s in terms of prospects on the big board, but man, I think this is perfect. I like some of the wide receiver talent in free agency, but there's a handful of names. It's not as deep, right? So give me Jeremy Bernard in the first round for the Broncos. Let me know how you feel, Broncos fans, if you like this selection, or should I gone in a different way, right? So yeah, the next one up will be the New England Patriots. I got 2 more selections, y'all. How am I doing? I hope you enjoyed this episode. But here we go. Number 31, New England Patriots. They definitely need an edge rusher in the worst way. They need to generate pressure. They really didn't have like that guy, that Batman to really create pressure. This guy has great instincts. He has discipline. He's powerful. He can set the edge. Give me TJ Parker to the New England Patriots out of Clemson. I'm intrigued. So they need edge rush help. Mike Vrabel got him to the Super Bowl with the help of Josh McDaniel. But you need to add to that defense, right? And I think TJ Parker would be a good guy. Does he go up higher? Like, could he have gone where Akeem Messidor went? Or we can make a case, it's all about these teams, how they evaluate, how they see these players. But I would be happy with TJ Parker if he was there at 31. So this one is a really difficult one that I had trouble with. Go in a number of ways. I really wanted to go corner right here because I feel like I know they have some guys, I think like Tariq Woolen going free, but maybe they figure out another way to bring in another veteran to replace him. They have running back listed here. I think you don't let the Super Bowl MVP walk in free agency in Kenneth Walker, right? You take care of your own. He was grown through their program, right? Their organization. He was brought up through them. He has so much value to this team. So I don't think you go running back here. I think Kenneth Walker will be back in Seattle. So with this particular selection, I might surprise you, but I really like this player a lot. And C.J. Allen, I know it's great in my draft because this is the last selection. C.J. Allen, Georgia linebacker. I've seen some guys who I really respect. Shout out to Andy on the X timeline. But it was either him or somebody else. But C.J. Allen has some Roquan Smith type of traits. Man, that defense was already nasty, man. But if you had a player like this guy at the inside linebacker position, I would be thrilled as a Seattle fan. Great instincts, great tackler. He is the quarterback on that side of the ball. I like his upside, man. I really do. Sideline to sideline type of guy. Leadership. Georgia, they know how to develop themselves some NFL talent. You get that with CJ Allen. So here's the final draft. Run through. Look at all that. So I got Fernando Mendoza, number 1. Arvel Reese, 2. Spencer Fano, number 3. David Bailey, Francis Mauigoa, Jordan Tyson, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love, Ruben Bain Jr., Caleb Downs, Jermod McCoy, Mansour Delane, Makai Lemon. I like that one. Vega Ion, Cassius Howell, 15. And then you got Peter Woods at 16. 17, Caden Proctor, Avion Terrell, 18, Caleb Banks, number 19. Number 20, Kedrick Falk, Carnell Tate at 21, and 2 Oregon Ducks going back to back. That really wasn't intentional. I just was looking at what they need and some fits there. But hey, 2 studs I think that can make an impact. And then you got Caleb Lamo to the Browns. You got Caden McDonald to the Bears to help that defensive line. Akeem Massador, Denzel Boston, Jadarian Price, who I like a lot in this draft. I would hope Denver would take in the first if they brought back a J.K. Dobbins. And then Ty Simpson, the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford. I like Jeremy Bernard in the first for Denver. 31, TJ Parker, and to wrap it up, CJ Allen. I like this select draft a lot. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Thank you for tuning in. I would say this, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I went a little longer than usual, but this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Man, I'm going to be putting out some other content like this. I'm going to be putting up some rankings, prospect rankings on my channel. And we're going to talk free agency. It's going to be a fun off season. There's a lot to get into. There's a lot to talk about. So I appreciate y'all. Looks like my end zone's been reached. Thank you guys so much. Salute to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, have a good one, squad. I'm out.